different, so I have to do like the setup a little weird. Different than
Okay.
Facebook.
Oh, and I just got like a message that it's being live streamed.
Yeah, perfect. Now setting up. Different, so I have to do like the setup a little weird. Different than Facebook. Okay. All right. Got it. Good. All right. Hello, everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and just dive right into our podcast today. We're getting everything set up and good to go. So please bear with us for just a second to make sure everything is good. Before we get going here. So how are you today, Judy? Good?
I am good. How are you today?
I'm good. Hanging in there. It's cold here. Well, you're in the same area as me. So.
It's very cold.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to the weather next week.
Yes.
You're saying in the 40s and 50s, but you know, Punxsutawney Phil saw a shadow today. So 6 more weeks of winter. Yay.
I know. Yes. I mean, like technically it is 6 more weeks of winter. It's just the whole fun of it. And hopefully one day it is an early spring. So
I've seen it a couple times where he has not seen a show. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Karen and I were talking about that this morning, and I'm like, I don't ever recall him predicting 4 more weeks of winter. So
yeah, just a few times, not many. It doesn't happen often.
Is he ever right when he predicts it that way or no? Do you know? Do you remember?
Probably the same as the weathermen.
Probably, yeah. I know the job we on, huh? So all right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna dive right in. So hello and welcome to the Magical Traveling Moms podcast. My name is Tina. I am joined today by a special guest, Miss Judy Dancer from Mystical Dream Travel. We are missing Colleen today. She is lucky and she is at Walt Disney World, but she'll be back next week and giving us all the scoop on her recent trip there, back to back, actually. She was there 2 weeks in a row. But before we get started, we'd like to take a moment and thank the sponsors of our show, Mystical Dream Travel. Mystical Dream Travel specializes in Disney destinations as well as many other. They are an earmarked agency with Disney destinations. So if you're ready to plan your next Disney vacation, please reach out to the wonderful agents over at Mystical Dream Travel. You can find them at mysticaldreamtravel.com or check them out on social media. So, hey, Judy. Judy is joining us, and she is no stranger to our podcast. She's been on here quite a few times, so she's like a regular.
I'm honored to be filling in for the wonderful Colleen because that's really special.
Oh yeah. So he's my co-host today. So Judy, like we said, she is an agent over at Mystical Dream Travel. Now we are gonna have some fun today. So we're gonna kind of play some this or that, but this or that of Disneyland versus Walt Disney World. And I'm gonna give you a little history why we're doing this, because Judy was recently out of Disneyland with me in December. So and 2 days later, after she got back, she had the ultimate Disney experience. She went to Walt Disney World. So I figured what better way, it's fresh in her mind, to play this or that, or would you rather, whatever we want to call it. So,
I love it.
What do you think? Okay. All right. So let's get started. So let's play. So I have some good ones here. So some attractions are the same, some things are the same, and some are not. But they're the same, but they're not. So would you rather do Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland or at Disney World?
Oh boy, this
hard.
is a tough one. I like them both, and they both have a lot of the same features. There are some pretty neat differences between them. I really like Disneyland. I don't want to give anything away because I'm sure we have some people that have not gotten to experience both, but just the little differences that they have, I think, are very, very cool. So I'm going to go with Disneyland. And I'm a big Pirates of the Caribbean fan, so I do love them both. Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
But
it's a tough one, but I I would have to agree with you. I found that the Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland, sorry world, I love you so much, but was better. Overall,
Yes.
there, like you said, there's some things that are the same,
Yes.
but overall, I thought the attraction at Disneyland was Pirates of the Caribbean, hands down, was better.
And I kept hoping that since we were in Disneyland, that Johnny Depp would somehow pop out in person
Oh, I know.
of the ride while we were on it, but that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
Didn't happen. All right.
But-
So next comparison, next this or that, or would you rather do Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland or Disney World?
Oh. And that's a good one because yeah, I'm gonna go to my where all my Disney love started and say Disney World.
Oh,
I like the one
that,
at Disney World. Oh boy, but I like some of the differences at Disneyland because there's some different scenery. Did you almost think the one at Disneyland was a little longer of a ride too?
I did.
Okay.
So your pick is World. Okay, so your pick is Disney World.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my pick actually
Yeah.
is going to be Disneyland. And I think you froze.
Oh.
Judy. Yep, I think you're frozen. There you go. My pick
Okay.
is actually going to be Disneyland. And I like them both, but I felt like the Big Thunder Mountain at Disney land is longer. It's definitely
It
longer,
is.
like you said. And I felt like it had a little bit more to it than the one
And
at World.
And I think I know the part that you mean because I commented on it
Yes.
while we
Yes.
were, because
Yeah.
it was adorable. It was really cute.
Yeah, so cute. So I'm gonna have to go with that one. So okay, so we're gonna
Okay.
shift gears just for a second on restaurants.
Okay.
Okay, and I picked these because they're kind of similar, but they're not.
Okay.
So would you rather have dinner at San Angel Inn at Epcot at Walt Disney World or the Blue Bayou,
Ooh.
which is inside Pirates of the Caribbean or on the outside of it?
Oh my.
Yeah,
I actually have a two-part answer for this one.
Oh no. Okay. All right. Let me hear it.
Okay. Because I love for atmosphere, I would pick the Bayou, the Blue Bayou at Disneyland.
Okay.
And again, I'm a huge Pirates of the Caribbean fan. And so you're actually the restaurant, you're overlooking the ride. So I love that. And the atmosphere, the lights and everything. But my caveat with that is I have celiac disease. So I have to have a gluten-free diet. And the Blue Bayou did not have the options for gluten-free that the San Angel Inn does at Epcot. And I love the food at San Angel too. So
I know it's hard. It's hard.
it is hard. So atmosphere versus what I get to eat.
I know. It's like, what do I like better?
I know. Well, you know what? I'm going to go Blue Bayou just because of it being in the Pirates ride, the atmosphere, the wait staff was wonderful. It was a really cool experience overall.
Okay. I'm with you. It's very tough. So San Angel Inn overlooks the Three Caballeros attraction. And I love that attraction a lot. And so I really do enjoy it. It's fun. The setup is similar. So they both overlook an attraction. It's a water attraction that they overlook. It's very different foods.
Correct.
It's the food's very different between the two, but it's a tough one for me too, and I'm gonna have to go with San Angel Inn. I love the Blue Bayou. Now, when we ate there, because we were together, we just did kind of like light appetizers and stuff.
Right.
So I'm wondering if maybe if I had like a full meal when I go again in July, We're gonna dine there, and I wonder if I had something like a full, like a regular meal, if I would have felt differently food wise.
And there was something, and I don't remember what it was, but there was something that Courtney was looking for on the menu, I think, and they didn't
The Monte
have.
Cristo.
That was what it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so that's what
she
they're known
loved
for.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're known for their Monte Cristo, but it's not served for dinner. I think they said it's only served for like before dinner, like lunch.
Yeah. So
we'll have to see. So I made that note to myself when we were there, and I'm gonna try it during lunch, so I could try that. So
I want an update on that.
I will give an update.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about, we're gonna go back to attractions. Okay. And we're gonna go. So these two rides are similar but different.
Okay.
Would you rather do a dinosaur at Hollywood Studios?
Okay.
Or the Indiana Jones attraction?
Oh, wow.
I know.
And I was surprised because the Indiana Jones attraction at Disneyland is a ride. It's
I know, before you do it being a show at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, and that's what I was so surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to admit, I had a day in Disneyland by myself where Courtney couldn't be with me that day, and you had meetings. And I actually made sure I rode the Indiana Jones ride again because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real. I'm going Indiana Jones.
I am 100% with you. I'm going with the Indiana Jones attraction out at Disneyland because I thought it was just so cool. I thought, and I actually, I mean, I've been on dinosaur multiple times, as I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
And I just really, I love the effects in the Indiana Jones movie, in the attraction. And I love the theming when you walked up in the queue. I really, 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 truly enjoyed the Indiana Jones ride, and I would not be sad, and I may get a lot of not so likes about this, but I would not be sad if they replaced dinosaur with Indiana Jones.
I agree, and I will be honest, when we went to Disney World right after I was at Disneyland, we didn't even ride the dinosaur ride because Carrie was like, I don't want to take the time to ride it. My husband and daughter hadn't been to Disney World for 7 years, so we were trying to highlight. And she's totally care because usually my mom and dad go with us, and she goes, "The only reason I ride that is because Grandma always wants to ride."
So what things you do for grandmas, yeah,
right. The things you do for your older generation. So it wasn't something on Dave and Carrie's list of something they wanted to ride. But I know if I had them at Disneyland, the Indiana Jones would be up at the top of the list.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I really thought that was a well done attraction. Yeah. Okay. So this one, I have a hard one for you now. Okay. You're gonna choose between parks.
Oh dear.
Okay. This is tough. Magic Kingdom or Disneyland Park?
My goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. I get emotional about Disneyland because it was the original park, and Walt Disney himself got to spend time there, and I think it's just so sentimental because I really admire the person. And wow.
Yeah, but you have to pick one or the other. Yeah.
I know. Magic
for the Kingdom. Day. What would you want to do for the day? Which one?
I'm going to go Disneyland.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to go Disneyland. And only because it's the original. I don't want to say we can get to Magic Kingdom, but from Pittsburgh, we can hop on a plane and be there in 2 hours. And Disneyland takes more planning and more. And I love the fact that it's the original. And in our hotel room, there was a picture of Mr. Walt Disney himself standing at Snow White's castle. And at one point, I actually I was by myself, went and tried to find the spot that he stood in and get my picture. Now, how silly is that?
No, that's awesome.
But it's just to actually walk where he walked and see attractions that were there when it opened that he was able to see and probably ride. And I like the sentimental side of Disneyland.
Nice, nice. You know what? I would probably agree with you on that. I think I would probably have to go with Disneyland, especially being on the East Coast. It's very easy for us to go to Walt Disney World. I mean, we're usually down there at least several times a year. So to get to Disneyland, it's usually a once a year or once every few years trip because it's hard to get to. But I would have to go with you because I think it's where Walt walked. And for us, we're very big Walt fans. And to be able to go somewhere where he walked and he built himself is amazing. And so I agree with you on that 100%. Okay, next one. California Adventure or Hollywood Studios?
Oh,
If you had to spend the day at one, you only could pick one.
okay.
Which park would you choose? California Adventure or Hollywood Studios?
I'm going Hollywood Studios.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to go Hollywood Studios because I love Toy Story Land. I love, and in California, the Star Wars land is actually in Disneyland, not in California Adventure. And I hate to say this because I know you don't, I love Tower of Terror. And Rock and Roller Coaster and the Great Movie. I'm going Hollywood Studios. And I love the feel when you first walk in the park and they're playing, I think I Have an Old Soul, maybe the 1940s music, Sentimental Journey, and all those songs and the old school Hollywood feel of it. I'm going Hollywood Studios.
Wow, I'm like really impressed with that. I was honestly thought you were going to go California Adventure.
Oh.
So for me, it's a tough one. It really is tough. But if I had to pick between California Adventure and Hollywood Studios, I'll be honest with you, I think I would go with California Adventure.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Mainly because I think there's so many little nugget things and twists and turns over there that every spot you walk around, you never know where you're going to end up. And I really think I would go that direction. So
wow, you're a Cali girl.
I know, I'm turning into that. Courtney would be proud.
Yes, she would. Yes. Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Yeah. Okay. So here's another one. All right. Because we're kind of moving away. We have some more attractions in here, but we're kind of moving away. All right. The monorail at Disneyland or the monorail at Walt Disney World?
Oh.
Yeah. Which one would you?
Wow. The monorail at Disneyland is very short. But it's so convenient. Oh my goodness. We stayed at the Disneyland Hotel. We would walk into, because they still call theirs Downtown Disney. So we go into Downtown Disney and the monorail station is right there. I mean, it was right there. And it's a one-shot run pretty much into the park. Wow. Oh boy, that's a tough one. In Florida, you have the one that goes into all the hotels, and you have the one. I'm trying to talk myself into an answer, and I don't have one.
It's tough. It's tough.
Wow. I'm gonna go Disneyland.
Oh, okay. Nice, nice. All right. I can get that one. So I am actually going to go with Disney World. And the reason is because I like to stop at all the little hotels. And if you're staying in the Magic Kingdom area, you have that extra ride over to Epcot.
Right.
So it's a little bit longer. So it's a little time to rest your feet. And, so I'm going to go with that.
I get it. I get it.
Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. We're almost done here. There's a couple more.
Okay.
So, all right. So since you went during the holidays to both.
Okay.
So would you rather do Christmas at Disneyland or Disney World?
Wow. I'm going to go Disney World. And the reason is with Epcot and the candlelight processional and the different celebrations in the countries and the different foods that you can get. Now they do in California Adventure, they did have little booths set up so you could get a passport and but I didn't think it was in Disney World at Epcot, you can go around to the countries and everything is in that one. And I just felt it was a little more scattered about at Disneyland. And I love the fact that they make it snow. And maybe they do in California. I didn't see it, but I like the different, like I said, the different celebrations, the different trees, the different, just to me, there's just more holiday stuff to do at Disney World.
Yep.
So I'm going Disney World.
Okay, so I would agree with you. So I think because World has the space to do it, and it is much bigger. So if you haven't been, to Disneyland's definitely a lot smaller compared to World. It's kind of hard to digest, especially if you're used to World. You're like, oh, okay. So, but I would agree. I think for things to do and activities, I think that Walt Disney World has definitely a lot more to do. Yeah. But the one thing I will say that I love, if we were talking decorations, I would go with Disneyland because I felt like Disneyland's decorations were better. They were brighter, they were unique, they seemed more traditional to what Walt had. And I love the one Christmas tree that was all kind of like throwback ornaments.
And that was the one I was just going to talk about. That one. That's the one in California Adventureland, and it had that old time Mickey Mouse on like the cart to go around the tree, and it just but I was going by more to do, but I did it was very it was very like comforting and comfortable, and it was beautiful.
It was. I agree. If we were talking just decorations, if I had to pick, I would say Christmas time decoration wise, Disneyland. Activity wise and more celebration and more to do because you have Epcot and all the different countries have celebrations. I would definitely say there, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, okay. All right. So we're going to go back for the last two. Would you rather at Disneyland or Disney World? Would you rather do the Incredicoaster or Expedition Everest?
Oh, I'm Expedition Everest all the way. I love the theming of the whole time you're in the line to go up to the ride, and the history that they actually tell about the one expedition looking for the Yeti. I love stuff like that. And I like the presentation of Expedition Everest. And that, in Asia and the whole area that it's in. Whereas, and I've ridden Incredicoaster, but I don't think it was Incredicoaster when I rode it. I forget. I hate to say I forget what it was called, but I do forget what it was called. But I'm Expedition Everest.
I agree with you on that. I really like Expedition Everest a lot. Incredicoaster is fun, but I will have to go with Expedition Everest on that. Okay, last one.
Okay.
One. And I'm pretty sure you probably know which one I'm going to pick on this. So, Guardians of the Galaxy at Disneyland or the Tower of Terror?
And I know how you feel about both of them.
Yes.
So I don't know how you're going to pick.
I guess.
Wow. In Guardians of the Galaxy, because the last time I was at Disneyland before this past trip, think I figured out today was like 2014, and it was Tower of Terror back then. So I
Mhm.
had written it as Tower of Terror, and I also wrote it as Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, oh boy, this is tough because I love Tower of Terror, and I love, they're
Mhm.
both drop rides. They're both. I'm going Tower of Terror.
Wow.
I'm going to, and
Okay.
and because recently I've been reading up on some fun stuff, like there's hidden messages in the ride,
Mhm.
and now I'm like, I got to go back and I got to look for these messages, because it's the one sign in the lobby that has the lettering on it, and certain letters will be dropped off, and then you look, and the one time somebody had a picture and it said take the stairs
Yeah.
or something on it, and so I'm like, I need to go find these.
Mhm.
And I grew up with the Twilight Zone,
Okay.
so I remember watching that as a kid, and I think about it every time I'm on an airplane. But that's for another discussion, because there was an episode where they were in an airplane,
Yeah.
and wow. But that is because I like Guardians of the Galaxy too. Now I'm going
Tower.
Tower of
You want
Terror.
to? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you follow us, I do not like either attraction at
I
all.
know. Yeah.
I'll take it back. So if I had to pick one that I had to ride, it would definitely be Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't like the feeling of being dropped. It is not fun for me. It's not exciting for me. I've ridden Tower of Terror 4 times. No, three times in my lifetime of going to Disney. I rode it once with my husband, once with my daughter because she wanted to ride it for the first time, and the third time I lost a bet among the travel agents and I had to ride.
I was there for that one.
You were there. You were right there for
there.
that one.
Yep.
And so it is not my favorite attraction. But I went on Guardians of the Galaxy because I promised my daughter while I was out there that I would ride it. And I do have to say, if I had to pick between the two, I would definitely choose Guardians of the Galaxy, mainly because the theming, I think, is easier for me
Yeah.
than the scariness of Tower of Terror. So, and the only thing I will say, because I don't want to give the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, it is fun. If I was into the feeling, if I could if the feeling of being dropped did not bother me that much, it actually probably, I could see why people really like it, because it has great music, the theming is amazing. But Tower of Terror, I could just leave it. I don't care if I ever ride it. I've heard it 3 times, I'm good.
And we have some awesome photos if anyone ever,
Oh yes,
wants to see Tina's enjoyment on
both. Yes,
both. Yes.
yes. The
there's
one,
picture proof.
yes, that I did ride it. The one with my family is probably the best one.
Yes.
Because my husband's having fun. Sarah's taking a picture for the camera, and I'm like hanging on for dear life with my eyes closed. It was Florida heat, so our hair was out the here. So, and the same thing with Out of Guardians. There's a picture of me that I was like, oh my god. So,
but you did it.
But I did it. You're right. So you always try something once, So I saw that's my philosophy on most things. At least try one. So, well, thank you, Judy, so much for joining and filling in for Colleen today. I really appreciate it. We're sure we will guarantee that we will have Judy back on again, especially probably in the summer, because we're all going on a fabulous vacation to Hawaii. And we're going to bring Judy on to talk about that and that experience for sure. So you want to stay tuned to that. So thank you everybody for listening today and watching us here on YouTube Live. And make sure you hit that subscribe and notification button so you never miss an episode. And be sure to check us out wherever you listen to podcasts, on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Podcast. And make sure there you also hit that like, follow, and notification button. So thank you so much, everybody. And we hope you have a very magical day.